My biggest takeaway from the draft yesterday, from a
Yes.
Houston Texans perspective,
Do tell me.
the Houston Texans have a real general manager. They have a real boy as the
Really?
general manager. Absolutely.
My biggest
Absolutely.
takeaway after day one of the Houston Texans draft, Lance Zierlein knows what the hell
my
he's doing.
goodness. That's
I
the
mean, there's
truth.
guys that get some picks right, and then there's Lance who drills both Texans picks right on the button. That was impressive.
Very impressive. He had Stingley going, of course, at number 3. He had the Texans taking Kenyon Green at number 13, which people think was a reach at 15. We'll get into all of that in great detail. But Lance doing a good job. Did you see who he predicted to go in the second round of the Texans?
He's thinking they're going the way we didn't want them to go, which was second round running back, which I guess I can kind of understand now, but I still think it's too early. And as Brendan shakes his head like a bobblehead in there.
Do you I think I'm being talked into it.
I hate
it.
I started to more. When you got a guard, your offensive line seems to be solidifying now, and now you need to be able to run the football. I can be talked into it, I believe.
I think that Kenyon Green there at 15 is maybe a little tell on what the Houston Texans want to do in this draft, in fact. And the fact that what did Lovie Smith say throughout this entire process? He said that they had to get better in 2 positions. One of them said that we have to get better at cornerback because we can't win or play at the type of football that we want to play with what we got. So that's just the cold, hard truth of it. So what they do, they drafted Stingley with the number 3 overall pick. And then he also said they have to get better at running the football. And they already addressed that with a run grading, offensive guard in Kenyon Green. Why wouldn't they draft a running back at number 37?
Yeah, no, look, like I said, I can be talked into it too because it sounds like you're right. There is a plan. It sounds like, and as much as I want to crap all over you saying that the Texans actually have a general manager, I can't because he did everything we wanted him to do. The only question that I have for you guys is, do we know more now about a non-Patriot way that Nick Caserio is executing than we did before the draft? Because he essentially basically told us and didn't hide how many times he met with Stingley. Everyone was talking about it. Lovey talked about a corner, and they did exactly that.
I guess we can lose the notion that Nick Caserio never says nothing.
I guess so, right? Because that's all I could think about was this is so rare from a Patriots Way person, let alone the used car salesman that's Nick Caserio, that both he and Lovey essentially laid it on a plate for you. And then if you read the tea leaves and read what everybody else was reporting, you pretty much knew they were going corner and that they were really, really interested in Stingley.
Guys, let me tell you real quick about Fitz Roofing. Fitz Roofing, dedicated and loyal to Houstonians. They're going to take care of you every step of the way, from a leaky roof to a full roof replacement on your business or your home, or maybe some home repairs, even a fence in your yard. All you got to do is call them, 832-521-3001. They're going to give you a free, no-obligation inspection. It costs you absolutely nothing, and they tell you what they can do to help you fix the problem. You want them to come back, you book them, and they are the best at doing what they do on a daily basis. Check them out at fitzroofing.com. Fitz Roofing, making a difference one home at a time.
Texans going Derek Stingley at 3, trading down to number 15, drafting Kenyon Green, the local kid from Atascocita High, grew up in Humble. Yeah, see, I like the philosophy more than I love the picks, because I would have went a different direction at number 3. I would have went Sauce Gardner over Stingley at number 3, while I also admit that I think that Stingley has more upside. I think Stingley has potential to be a better player than Sauce Gardner, but I also see Stingley as having more bust potential. And when I say bust,
I'm with you.
But when I say bust, I don't mean like Anthony Edwards at UNLV where he's out of the league in 2 years. I mean more like Jadeveon Clowney bust, where you expect him to be the best defensive end in the NFL, and instead he's like an above-average player. Like, I don't think Stingley's not going to be good in the NFL. I think his baseline is above average.
When I say it, I mean give me the one player that was drafted high that came in with a medical, and the medical became the reason why he never played. That's what bothers me the most. I don't have any doubt in my mind that Stingley has all the athleticism and tools to be and tests out to be a phenomenal corner in the NFL. That Liz Frank injury and having experience with working with Yao Ming and others that have had it scares the hell out of me, in the fact that that's a foot. As a guy in the secondary, as a corner, especially as a lockdown corner, but your hips and your lower body and your feet are going to be the most important thing you got going for you, and you can't do it with a flat tire. You can't afford, you better done all your homework, because you can't afford to have that thing be something that lingers, something that doesn't go away, something that isn't fixed, because that would be a huge problem.
You know they did all their homework, though. Like
You assume so, right?
I think we are underrating the Liz Frank injury. Now, he did run a 4.4 after he healed from that. Straight line. The one thing that I would differ from like Yao Ming was Yao Ming's the 7'6", 400-pound behemoth,
Sure.
whereas Stingley's not that. Like Stingley's not, too big for his body. You know what I'm saying? So he's not putting as much stress on that foot as like a Yao Ming would. So that doesn't bother me as much, but I think it is something to worry about. It is something to consider. Like, is this something that will linger? If it's something that's going to linger, then it's not a good pick.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, we've seen before that teams, we assume the Astros did their due diligence on re-upping Ryan Presley, but then why didn't you see the medicals that said the knee still isn't right and you're continually draining it and no, hey, we're not in a hurry to sign him? That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you think and assume teams do all their due diligence. Sometimes you're so enamored with a player, you're like, okay, we've heard enough. We think it's good. Our doctors say it's good. Let's go with it because you just want that guy.
Yeah.
And that's where, because you're in a position where you could get 1A and 1B at the corner position, that's the only thing that scares me in terms of the guy that doesn't have the medical coming into the draft was Sauce.